Another beautiful Sunday afternoon in Tampa and Brandon, Florida, but here at the ICE Sports Forum's North Rink, nice, cool, chilled, and we are ready to go. Another game of the week just moments away from being brought to you here, as this week features the Blue Bombers and the Golden Knights here in Brandon, Florida. Hi everybody, Angelo Pontello bringing you the broadcast action as always, and joining me as always, Andy Townsend. And Andy, we look at these two teams, and as we see these two teams get up, you got a Blue Bomber team that comes in at 5-2 compared to a Golden Knight squad that has been at 4-3 thus far, just looking for an opportunity for payback from the first meeting. Oh, no doubt about it, Angelo, and I can tell you right now that with this Blue Bomber squad that only fields 7 players here today, the Golden Knights need to take advantage of it every possible way they can. And it's easier said than done, because the way we've seen this Golden Knights squad, Angelo, this is a team that likes to put it on early but struggles to maintain their leads. The Blue Bombers stay consistent. Who knows what kind of game we'll have today. And one of the key factors for the Golden Knights as well, you got 2 players in particular. One, Omer Chiquan. And just like Pontello coming into his 6th game of the fall 2019 season, Chiquan enters today's game with 7 goals and 7 assists. Is the 2nd most points on average for this over 50 hockey league, averaging almost 3 points a game in his appearances. But that just goes to show you that's what's to be expected of this over 50 hockey man. No doubt about it, this veteran is one of the reasons why he's a premier player, and he just finds ways to help and pass to his teammates. Well, you talk about teammates, one guy that has really produced from Chiquan's presence is that man right there, number 10, Jerry Coughlin. Coughlin, the leading scorer for the Golden Knights with 9 on the season. He's going to be expected to step up big time. Well, of course, he's always been stepping up every single game, so not too surprised that he's going to be a man that's going to be heavily relied on in this case for the Golden Knights. And for them, it's just a matter of, again, they have to start out early and they have to be consistent with the scoring. And real quick for this Blue Bomber squad, Angelo Pontello back after being out for 2 weeks. Someone that is going to be very key in this Blue Bomber matchup if they're going to be looking to beat the Golden Knights again. But no doubt about it. And again, Pontello, as we talk about Chiquan, we have 2 players. We have 2 of the top 3 players playing in this match that lead in points on average. So when it comes to producing points, whether it's scoring goals or making the assists, it's going to be a one big fiesta of goals and points. So with that, we'll conclude the pregame report. When we come back, face off on the other side. It's the Blue Bombers and the Golden Knights here on the Game of the Week on the Pontello Broadcasting Network. So with that, we begin face-off. Kevin Hoffman, one of our officials for today's game. We'll have the other referee's name in just a moment. Connor Bortz, our scorekeeper for today's match. As we begin things early on here. Game of the week, it's the Blue Bombers and Golden Knights. Blue Bombers trying to get to 6-2 for the first time in their franchise history. Meanwhile, for the Golden Knights, looking to avoid going 4-4 at the end of this game. Will have work to do on their side, as Pontello trying to set things up back over to Falbo with the shot attempt and taken away instead by Mitch Starr. Well, one of the things is going to be, you're going to have to find key opportunities here. And again, when we know that the Blue Bombers now have 8 players on their bench, you know, depth is going to be very limited for them, and so they're going to have to do everything they can to be smart, to be consistent with the puck and not try to overdo themselves here. And you talk about depth, Andy, again, big thing for the Golden Knights to take advantage of is they have 11 players here suited up today, so they just need to be smart with the puck and make sure that they don't go too crazy and find a way to be consistent in the 2nd and 3rd periods. So as Arsekovic signals for the icing call, minute and 12 already played off, as faceoff will take place deep in the Golden Knight zone. So the starting lineups right now on the ice. At center will be Michael Rossi, Angelo Pontello, and Phil Chirico back at defense. Wingers in Brian Pompos and Tom Lafriri. For the Golden Knights, you got Omer Chiquan at center. Wingers in Jerry Coughlin and Steve Byrne. Defenders back Marty Washburn and Jim Pernice. Jerry Coughlin trying to come up quickly with a breakaway chance knocked off by Arsekovic. And this is a team, Angelo, where there are not going to be a lot of players that have that kind of breakaway opportunities like you would see in, say, a Green Hornet player like Dave Wakowiak. But don't take these guys for granted, Angelo. Jerry Coughlin, if he gets an opportunity, he's going to find a way to score as well off those breakaway chances. So an icing call made, and this time face-off will take place deep in the Blue Bomber zone. We compare both of these sides right now, Andy, and as we continue to talk about the strengths and the other factors for both these squads, again, we mentioned already, Golden Knights is a team that loves to score early in the first period. Blue Bombers are the complete opposite, on the other hand. Fewest goals scored in a first period, along with 4 on the season. And Andy, if they're going to be looking to try to keep things up, they're going to have to change their offensive pace. Well, no doubt about it. That's going to be key, and especially with the Golden Knight team that we've seen before in their last meeting when the Golden Knights blew a 4-1 lead. It's going to be very imperative for this Blue Bomber squad, especially with the limited depth, to at least get some kind of goal on the board here in this first period. Chiquan with the puck in the corner. He's looking for options quickly, but pressured by Rossi. Chiquan off the stick of foul ball. Big chance here, knocked off to the left side. Oh, you gotta take advantage of those chances. It doesn't matter if you're a 1-star, 2-star, 5-star. When you have a brilliant opportunity like that on your stick, you need to go and capitalize. Shot fired by Mitch Starr, knocked off to the side. Check that, it's Jim Pernice with the shot. Michael Rossi by himself in the Golden Knight zone, looking for a pass back option, taken away. It is Mitch Starr who knocks it back over to foul ball for the Blue Bombers. And an offsides call made at the time. 9:04 in the opening period. And now Angelo Pontello having a few words with one of our officials. And Andy, you look at the officials here at the Ice Sports Forum, part of a regional base in the Southeast Florida region. Ron Buckner, the chief referee in charge as well. But you look at some of these referees and it's, you know, not necessarily saying there's a game intact essentially, but remember, these aren't NHL officials. Well, that's one of the key things, especially in over 50 hockey league, you still have to understand is these are officials that are just regular Joes, just like we are, looking for chances to make money just by doing a sport and doing something that they love to do, officiating games. And again, really no high expectations like you would see in an NHL game or maybe even one of those travel games. But nevertheless, they're here. They're trying to keep the peace in these games and make sure that everything is as calm, cool, and collected. So with that, face-off will take place once again deep in the Blue Bomber zone. It's Chris Paris to take the face-off against Buchholz. Harris looking for options. It comes back to Pompos trying to clear away. Harrison fires a shot on net, bounced off by Arsakovic. Harris with a second-hand chance, just out of the reach of Reels, and here comes Buchholz. On the move, Paris will outskate him and get the puck knocked away. Scott Harrison regroups for the Golden Knights. He'll take this one up himself. Pontello coming out of the zone, looking to shadow Harrison. Harrison gets away from Pontello, gets the puck back over to Paris, but just out of the zone. And so Paris regroups in the neutral zone, looking for a chance. Gets past Pontello. Here comes Mudra. Near side, gets a move around Buchholz. And now another move, and fires offside target. Byrne can't connect with the puck, and here comes Chirico. Chirico gets this one cleared away, back to Washburn. This is back to Mudra. Washburn. Off into the far side corner. It's Pettit who meets the puck. Gets it skate around. Looking to get Pettit in the zone. Pernice couldn't keep it in touch. Well, it's a good valiant effort there by Jim Pernice, another player that you can slowly see to improve and find a way to adjust and contribute to his team. But that time, the puck just a little too fast for him to handle to keep it in the zone. Shot chance, knocked back by Chiquan. Arsakovic locating the puck, and it's in the net. Omer Chiquan took a little love tap there onto Arsakovic, looking to find a way to get to the net, and somehow it escapes Arsakovic's clutch, and the Golden Knights strike first. Just goes to show you, Angelo, one of the great things about Omer Chiquan is it doesn't matter if he's scoring.
Home team 12 from 10.
It doesn't matter if he's scoring, it doesn't matter if he's setting up the play. It's just an opportunity for him to come away with more points, and that's one of the reasons why he's one of the top 3 in points a game. Jerry Coughlin on the beautiful assist there for the Golden Knights, and now suddenly the Blue Bombers find themselves trailing as a shot bounces off of Washburn. This is back to Rossi to Pompos. Pompos Knocked off to the side. Coughlin looking for options. Can't connect with Lilly far side and it goes back in the Blue Bomber end. Pontello trying to get it off to LaFreri. Coughlin struggling to get it out. Chacuan coming in there for help. Campos knocking Chacuan off the puck. It's back to Coughlin. Coughlin feeds it out to Chacuan looking for options off of Pettit in the Blue Bomber end. Pontello back now. Off the boards, looks for Rossi's got him. Michael Rossi in the neutral zone. Blue Bombers on the move, 3-on-2. Rossi looking for LaFreri near sides, got him. With slow pace, and the puck comes back in the yellow, or in the Golden Knight end, if you will. Off the stick of Parrish, here comes Pontello. Winds up for the shot, knocked away by Hannon. Campos, second-hand effort with the shot, and Jay Hannon is there for the glove save. James Hannon last week had quite a busy day as he was not only goaltending for the Golden Knights, but also for the Grey Wolves in act of Bob Gardner, in which the Green Hornets came away with a game-winning miracle magic goal, however you want to word it, by Matt Sharina in the final seconds, as it was a hard-fought, valiant effort. But for Jay Hannon, he played lights out last week, no doubt about it. And for the Golden Knights, they're expecting him to play lights out this week as well against a Blue Bomber squad that throughout this game is only going to pick up their pace and speed and is going to find a way to get the offensive rhythm on the board. Puck fed up just a little too far for Byrne to handle, and an icing call coming up. 5:40 in the opening period. Golden Knights up 1-0 over the Blue Bombers, trying to get to 5-3 on the season and tie the Blue Bombers in the standings. Puck from LaFreri. Can't connect to Pontello, and here comes Mudra. Knocked off the puck by Pontello. It's back to LaFreri, and he dumps it into the Golden Knight end. Scott Harrison regrouping for the Golden Knights, looking for a man in Mitch Starr, and gets out of his reach. Pontello retrieving the puck back in the Blue Bomber end. Angelo Pontello will take this one himself. Pontello now in the Golden Knight zone. Pontello looking for a shot chance on net, blocked away by a defender. Well, Angelo Pontello, he knows that the Golden Knights are going to be shadowing him. That was one of their game plans heading into this week. You got to be a little bit better when it comes to trying to fool the Golden Knights and trying to get your shot off. So with that, an icing call, and so face-off will take place deep in the Golden Knight zone, as both teams will make a lineup change. And it'll be the captain, Tom Buchholz, taking the face-off against veteran Omer Chacuan. Puck comes back to Pettit. Shot on net, deflected by Buchholz. Not exactly the angled direction that they were looking for. Buchholz gets it stripped away by Chacuan. Gets around Chirico. Here comes Chacuan. Chacuan back into the neutral zone, 3-on-2 for the Golden Knights as Chacuan's looking to set up a play here. Chacuan looking for the pass back to Coughlin, wraparound shot, looking for the tap-in finish and a couple of block knockdowns, and it's taken away by Buchholz. Now back to Pernice with a shot fired on net, gets back over to the Blue Bomber end. Chirico off the boards, connects it back to Pernice for the Golden Knights. Misses Washburn, Golden Knights forced to regroup. What a valiant defensive effort there that time for the Blue Bombers. Almost a chance there for the Golden Knights to punch it in again. That time the finishing touch to Jerry Coughlin was slightly off target, but that could have been another dangerous give up there for the Blue Bombers. Pompos skates up for the puck. He's in Golden Knight zone. Pompos stripped from behind by Chacuan into the Golden Knight end. And Chacuan takes it away, comes back over to Pernice. Steph Pettit steps up. This is back over to Pernice, trying to clear it away. Stopped by Pompos. Rossi defended well by Washburn. Rossi takes a shot on net just off to the side. LaFreri picks up the rebound. LaFreri finds Pontello. Shot fired. And this one goes through. Angelo Pontello finds a way to sneak in at the last second. And an added factor that Hannon wasn't anticipating. And just like that, the Blue Bombers tie it up. But again, this is what happens when you see Pontello back into an offensive mix of things, whether he's not setting up.
Visitor goal. from 27 in 10.
So just getting official words on the stat sheet now on what has transpired, which we'll share with you in just a moment. But finishing the point there, Andy, just like Omar Chiquan, Angelo Pontello, if he's not setting up the place for Lafriri and or Rossi, it's vice versa. Well, that's the beauty of it. And when you have that triad of offense, you know, the sky's the limit for the Blue Bombers, and that's how they've been able to produce most of their offense anyways. Pontello is heart and soul, if you will, gear-wise of this team, and his absence the past 2 weeks has been very detrimental in terms of that offensive production, but the Blue Bombers still found a way to go 1-1 in the past 2 weeks. So Angelo Pontello with the goal scored, the assists being accredited to Michael Rossi and Brian Pompos. And another beautiful pass. This is Rossi 2-on-1 with Lafriri. Looking for the pass back. Harrison knocks it away. Oh, just a beautiful break up there by Harrison. Had the pass been connected to Lafriri, I'm not exactly sure if Jay Hannon would have had a chance to stop that knowing Lafriri's position. Pontello skating back for the puck. This is back in the Blue Bomber end. Pontello biding his time. And he's going to take this one himself. 2 defenders back for the Golden Knights. Pontello getting caught up in traffic, feeds it back to Rossi. Shot fired it in. And once again, Angelo, that's just the trickery, tomfoolery. The Golden Knights that time focusing a little too much on Angelo Pontello that time. Michael Rossi able to skate up wide open for the shot, and no one for the Golden Knights anticipated him being in there.
Visitors score 27 from 2.
And so just like that, the Golden Knights find themselves trailing 2-1. But that only solidifies the point, Andy, of just how big Angelo Pontello makes this role for the Blue Bombers. Oh, and again, you know, we could continue to talk about it throughout the rest of this broadcast, but the thing is, for the Blue Bombers, you notice a sizable difference when you see Angelo Pontello on the move, and if he tries to get an opportunity to finish, and he finds ways to do it. I mean, you look at what we've transpired and seen already. Golden Knights need to start figuring out what they need to do. They're stopping Pontello, in a matter of speaking, shadowing him, if you will, but they need to take advantage of the other players too. Tom Lafriri and Michael Rossi are just as dangerous. And so with that, an icing call, and face-off will take place deep in the Blue Bomber zone. 1:42 in the opening period. Blue Bombers up 2-1 over the Golden Knights. And Angelo Pontello's return after being out for 2 weeks. Omar Chiquan and Buchholz on the face-off. Puck back to Falbo, who clears this one away. Puck now back in the Golden Knights zone. Finds it up to Coughlin. Coughlin getting around Buchholz, has Chiquan and his man to work with far side, and Mike Lilly. Chiquan back to Lilly. Can't handle it cleanly, and they'll be taken away by Pettit. Pettit off the boards, rebounded by Pernice. Puck out to Buchholz. Steph Pettit steps up. It's 2-on-1 for the Blue Bombers entering Golden Knight zone. Pettit with some room backside will fire the shot off the side of the net. Buchholz with the rebound chance, and it slides through. Oh, and you have to be a little more aware of the shot and where it's going to come from if you're Jay Hannon that time. You know, just a rebound shot, and Buchholz having an uncanny ability to fire it back and using the angles there. Geometry does play a role if you know how to use it well. And so with that, 3 unanswered goals given up now by the Golden Knights.
18 from 11.
And it's the captain who gets on the score sheet. Tom Buchholz, now with his 3rd goal of the fall 2019 season, is able to strike a comfortable lead for this Blue Bomber squad. And so now if I'm the Golden Knights, I need to start forming a plan to get the puck rolling, because right now the Blue Bombers are in full control. You see a lot of that pressure from the offensive side, not really giving the the Golden Knights a chance to breathe here today. And the Golden Knights need to just have to find a way to attack the defense. So Arsakovic there for a glove hand stop on John Mudra. We'll stop the clock with 32 seconds remaining. So Golden Knights making a few substitutions as the puck is once again in the Blue Bomber zone. And taking the faceoff will be Paris against Rossi. One more opportunity here for the Golden Knights to perhaps maybe come up with a strong offensive possession here, maybe cut the deficit. Pompos off the boards past Scott Harrison. Harrison finds Reels near side. Reels passes it up from the neutral zone. It's intercepted by Chirico. Chirico off the boards to Pompos. Harrison regrouping for the Golden Knights. Off the skates of Paris. Mudra stripped loose by Pettit. Chirico is going to clear it into the Golden Knight end as time expires. But after an Omer Chiquan early goal, the Blue Bombers respond with 3 unanswered here in the first period, and they find a way to light it up, nearly totaling their entire goals scored in a first period in just this game alone. And that is the kind of different pace that we're talking about here, Angelo. The Blue Bombers needed to change their act and get something going early. And so right now, this is an opportunity for the Blue Bombers to change their pace, and like you mentioned, Angelo, almost totaling the season total of goals scored in the first period in this game alone. Really excellent job by this Blue Bomber offense. 3-1 our scoreline, and on the other side of the break, we'll have the second period action to you shortly. This is Over 50 Hockey's Game of the Week on the Pontillo Broadcasting Network. Start of the second period. Jay Grisby, Kevin Hoffman, our officials, and of course Connor Bortz keeping us in tune with the stats going up for today's game. Angelo Pontillo and Andy Townsend with you here in the booth, giving you the broadcast action in our Game of the Week. Blue Bombers and Golden Knights, as the Blue Bombers lead 3-1 over the Golden Knights. Pontillo looking to set it back up, trying to extend the lead, and it's taken away by Chiquan. Finds it to Steve Byrne near side, intercepted by Pontillo. Look out, Pontillo biding his time off the skate of Chiquan, and Reels is there for the clearance. And that was a big opportunity there. Golden Knights allowing the Blue Bombers to get in the way. They need to be smarter with the puck control. Byrne looking for the pass back to Coughlin. It's off to Reels, who regroups. Byrne biding his time, shot fired off the backside of Arsakovic and knocked off. Rossi gets it around Reels, and it comes back to Coughlin. This is back to Harrison, who regroups.
Sorry, where is my statement of person?
Chiquan shot fired, almost went through on that side. And Chiquan starting to get a little bit of an offensive prowess about him again. You know, that time just off the left post there. And that could have been a dangerous goal given up by Arsakovic. Well, you could tell there, Arsakovic. Right there, you can tell the left post pretty much keeping him in that shot as well. It looks like we're in the same agreement there, Angelo. Right there, the left post really doing wonders that time. Our left post, but to Arsakovic, it's the right post. But that really did him justice. Omer Chiquan looked like he had Arsakovic beat that time, and if it wasn't for that right post, Chiquan would have had himself another goal on the board. Puck is back to Pompos, making sure everyone's on side, so he'll head up into the Golden Knight zone. Now Marty Washburn with the puck. This is out to Mudra with some open space in the neutral zone. Mudra, only Steph Pettit back at defense. Mudra shot fired, just misses to the left side. Finishing touch by Mike Lilly, knocked back by Arsakovic. Third chance by Paris, driving it in. And Arsakovic is there for the stop. And that's the offensive opportunities I'm talking about, Angelo, that the Golden Knights need to start producing here. And right there, another strong chance, but this time Arsakovic was there, breaking it down and doing his work. Mario Arsakovic tied for first in fewest goals allowed on the season so far with 3. As Lafreri passes it up to Pompos. Blue Bomber shot fired too high on the net. Pass back to Lafreri. Sees it in the corner, looks it back over to Pompos in the Golden Knight end. Feeds it back out and give it right to Mudra. Tap by Lafreri. Paris trying to locate the puck. Pontillo back to Lilly and into the Blue Bomber zone. Pettit finds Pontello, flips it high, looking for Pompos. Brian Pompos skating after the puck. He'll get possession of it. Looking around for an opportunity. Biding some time, deflected by Washburn. Shot fired through the net. Chance for Lafreri to tap it in just out of his reach. And Hannon's there for the stop. And just off the blade there of Tom Lafreri that time, really a contested shot at that. If it wasn't for the defender, Lafreri just might have had a clean handle on it and perhaps would have made something out of that shot. 9:24 now in the second period. Blue Bombers still with a 3-1 lead over the Golden Knights. Michael Rossi and Chiquan on the faceoff as Pompos checks back in on the ice. Well, again, for this Blue Bombers squad, you only have 8 players out, so you don't have the luxury of getting 2 lines. So there are going to be a few players that are going to need to switch things up, and some that will have to stay as much as they're not at 100% strength. This is Jerry Coughlin in the Blue Bomber zone. 2 defenders back. Coughlin was looking for Chiquan. It's Starr tangled up with Pontello. Shot fired. Arsakovic blocks the first shot and now taken away by Chirico. Coughlin, this is to Chiquan. Knocked off the puck by Pontello. And this one comes out of the back into the neutral zone. Golden Knights regroup. And a good defensive effort there that time. Pontello already skating around the entire ice. It's his dojo, his domain. And right there that time steps up to stop Chiquan from making a potential play. Here comes Chiquan again. Will wind up for the shot deflected by Chirico. Chiquan looking for the pass back option to Harrison. Knocked off by Pompos. Chirico back to Chiquan and is unable to keep possession of the puck. Well, there again, Angelo Pontello in the right place at the right time, able to knock Chiquan off the puck. Just being in the right position there, and struggling was Chiquan to try to get even an opportunity to get it around him. Long time over 50 hockey vets know each other all too well in terms of playing styles and abilities. As Falbo takes the puck, he'll get this pass off the boards out of the reach of Rossi, and it goes back for an icing call. All right there, Angelo, and if Michael Falbo would have just had even a little bit more accuracy on the pass, and if Michael Rossi would have had the touch, it would have been another breakaway for Michael Rossi and perhaps goal-scoring city for him. And so as a result, puck will once again head back deep in the Blue Bomber zone, and face-off will commence. Chris Paris and Michael Rossi on the face-off. Puck comes back to Pettit, feeds it back out from Chirico. Off to the side of the boards, this is Falbo. Falbo flipping it back far side to Lafreri. Tom Lafreri on the move, looking for options. Will fire the shot on net, bounces off of Hannon. Once again, puck bouncing off of the skate of Chris Paris. Rossi picks it up, back to Chirico, shot fired. And back in the Golden Knight end, Mudra with the rebound. Stop by Pettit. Pettit looking for some more options off to the side. This is Rossi. Shot fired just short of the net. Rebounded by Pettit. Another offensive opportunity for the Blue Bombers. Hannon. This is to Falbo. Can't locate the puck. This is Lafreri. Backhands this one. Missed left side. Rossi trying to have his hand at the puck. And it comes back and he regroups. Misses a shot one-timer on Lafreri. Pettit with the puck, keeping it away from the Golden Knights. And that time it comes back to Rossi. Rossi shot fired, held up by Falbo, no one there for the finish. And Lily's able to finish off the clearance there. Dangerous, dangerous opportunities we've just witnessed. 3 and 4 strings of them for the Blue Bombers. And the Golden Knights defensively need to start stepping it up and add more pressure to this Blue Bombers squad that is just itching to add another one on the board. Chirico with a pass back to Pettit. Off the boards, finds Lafreri. And Lafreri will dump this one in the Golden Knight end. Hannon keeping this one away from company. This is off to Washburn. Back is to Lafreri, stripped away by Paris. 3 defenders back for the Blue Bombers as Paris tries to make a move around Pontello and taken away by Lafreri. Lafreri finds Buchholz near side. Here comes Buchholz. Pontello on the far side as the pass comes back to Lafreri. Shot fired and knocked away. Rebounded by the Golden Knights as they're looking for Paris. Paris back in the neutral zone. Paris keeps it cleared out to far side, and it's Lafreri who picks it up back in the Golden Knight zone. He'll wind up for the shot just off to the right side of Hannon. just under 6 minutes now in the second period. 3-1 Blue Bombers. Golden Knights trying to move the puck once more. We'll fire it off the boards past Pontello. Here comes Chaquan, looking to get around Chirico. Held up by Chaquan, and Arsakovic knocks it away. Good defensive effort there by Chirico, and that's what makes him a strong defender right there, and that's one of the reasons why Buckholz was able to draft him early on in the season. Shot fired, just missed off the left side by Reels. Puck comes back over to Harrison. And you can tell in terms of the Golden Knights, their secret weapon in Omar Chaquan has been neutralized by Angelo Pontello from pretty much the entire game, and they're just not able to get it off to Jerry Coughlin as well, who has been a silent factor here in the second period. Burn. Now Pompos back over to Harrison for the Golden Knights. And we'll clear this one away in the Blue Bomber zone. Icing call. And the biggest thing now is you see the system that the Golden Knights have, and the struggle for them is this Blue Bomber team has just been out-skating the Golden Knights. They have been out-hustling the Golden Knights, and they have been outplaying the Golden Knights in just about every factor here today. And right now, unless if there's some massive improvements that need to be made, or game plan changes, if you will, try to get Jerry Coughlin the puck a little bit more. It's a done deal here for the Golden Knights, and they're trying, and you can see that they're looking for anything they can. But right now, it's just been a very difficult process here for the Golden Knights. But that time, maybe things will change. Mitch Starr comes through and hits it top shelf. Well done for the Golden Knights, and if it's not Jerry Coughlin or Omar Chaquan, leave it to Mitch Starr to get things done. And that time, what a way to score a goal. Mitch Starr cutting the deficit to 1 with 4:42 to go in the second period. And surprising.
16 to 18.
And so just when you thought, with the pace of this game, that things might have gone the other way, or that the Blue Bombers were starting to gain some kind of advantage, it's the Golden Knights who come up with goal number 2 of the day. Pontello trying to make it a 2-goal lead again for the Blue Bombers. Shot fired to Pompos, and they do. Oh, what a heartbreaker there that time. Just when Mitch Starr gets something on the board, it's now the Blue Bombers that capitalize again. And who in the mix of making the magic happen once more? Angelo Pontello. And that time it's Pompos who adds a goal on the board. Well done by the C3 player.
Blue, 10 for 2.
So just like that, it is a 2-goal lead once again for the Blue Bombers as Scott Harrison is on the move. Shot fired. This one comes back over to Reels, who fires it from point. This puck just off to the side. Harris regroups. And so the pass fires backwards off of past the defenders, if you will, for the Golden Knights, and it comes back in the Golden Knight end. Reels regroups. Stripped away by LaFury. Look out. Another chance for the Blue Bombers as the shot is fired and cleared out now by Harrison. And this will come back for an icing call. But when I was mentioning earlier, Angelo, that's exactly what I'm talking about with the Golden Knights. It's the hustle effort that is not there right now. We really haven't seen it in the second period. And they've been taking their advantages as much as they can through normal traditional passing and moving the puck up slowly, for want of a better word. And you could tell even right there as Paris is trying to skate up, really it doesn't look like they're just aware of the Blue Bombers coming in and attacking and just trying to strip the puck loose. They're just skating around, and the Blue Bombers are there for every attack that comes up possible for this Golden Knight squad. So with that 3.5 minutes remaining in the second period, Blue Bombers threatening to add another one on the board. Kicked out by Hannon. Buckholz and company on the move. Puck comes back off to far side. Mike Lilly gets it away from Chirico. Mike Lilly has a chance near side. Shot fired, but Arsakovic shuts him down with a glove save. And so with that, more substitutions come into play for the Blue Bombers. Angelo Pontello once again finds himself back on the ice as Omer Chiquan steps back on along with Jerry Coughlin and Steve Byrne. And so now that you have a little bit more of a stable lineup up there, especially with Washburn and Panice, you got your first lineup back out there for the Golden Knights. Now it's time to work some offensive magic. Pernice off to the boards, taken away by Pontello, who flips it out for the clearance. Hannon is back to Coughlin, deep in his own zone. Coughlin finds Washburn. Washburn on the move for the Golden Knights as he finds Chiquan. Back into the Blue Bomber zone. Chiquan looking for options. Working off of Chirico. Shot fired. Coughlin trying to capitalize on the shot. And it's Pontello who comes in there and knocks it away. Tap deflection finish, and right there, the Golden Knights. That's exactly the magic that you're talking about, Andy, coming into play for the Golden Knights. Just bide your time, wait for the right opportunities, and everything else will fall into place. That's going to be key if you're going to be looking to score off of Ostakovic.
Is that when you send the score?
Yellow, 10, 5, and 12.
Is that him out there in the left lane?
And so, with that, the Blue Bombers now only up by 1 goal once again with 2:27 to go in the second period, as Chiquan and company look to tie it up. And now once we see the Golden Knights that there is light at the end of the tunnel, maybe this is an opportunity for them to start seeing a little more hustle and more of that offensive firepower come into play. And we'll see how the Blue Bombers defense reacts. Pontello back in his own end will flip this one up to Rossi. Struggling to maintain the puck, but he's got it to Lafreri. 2-on-1 now with Pompos off to the side. Pompos trying to connect, can't get it off his stick. And again, the Blue Bombers, they have the passes going for them, and you see the offensive opportunities, but that time, the pass just a little off target off of Pompos' stick, and that could have been a beautiful setup play for a potential goal-scoring chance. This is Rossi, winds up for the shot, deflected off of Hannon. Rebounded by Pontello, shot deflected off of Paris' skate. Tapped down by Pontello. Looking for the setup off the stick of Lafreri, taken away by Pernice. Off to the side of the boards. Mitch Starr trying to skate up for this one, but will be taken away by Pettit. Intercepted by Mudra. Will fire the shot on net. Pontello rebounds it. Off the glass, looking for Lafreri, stepped in front by Harrison. Harrison biding his time, looking for the setup the other way. Pompos gets a stick in there. Oh, and Mudra was just waiting backdoor that time to tap it in for the potential equalizer. But good job by Pompos there to get some interference first. And Pontello winding up for the slap shot there, stopped by Hannon. With 41 seconds, Blue Bombers making a few substitutions, but another opportunity to add some more offensive prowess to the squad, looking to maybe make this a 2-goal lead again. Well, you never know, and right now it's now or never, because heading into second intermission, you would definitely love to be up by 2 goals. It'll give you the comfort that you need, essentially, and a little bit more of that cushion room versus the 1 goal. Off to the side of the boards. This is Buckholz. Reels trying to get it cleared off opposite direction. Mudra finishes the clearance as it comes back over to the Blue Bomber zone. Arsakovic now finds Lafreri looking for a clean center ice pass. Has got Buckholz just out of the reach of foul though. And the Golden Knights again with possession. Chirico skates back. Omer Chiquan trying to make a play. This is Starr. Off in the near side corner, struggling to maintain possession of the puck. Pass back from Harrison. Pettit got a piece of the puck. Now it's Chiquan who can't handle it in time. But the buzzer sounds, and we have ourselves a close game here, folks. 4-3 Blue Bombers lead. But you can never count this Golden Knights squad out, as they are finding an extra set of legs here to start this third and final period. Well, with the mojo now starting to balance out here a little bit, we now start to see a different side of this Golden Knights squad. This could be a exciting third period upcoming, Angelo. Who knows what the third period is going to hold, but nevertheless, we've seen based off of history that the Blue Bombers continue the offensive prowess, but for the Golden Knights, a really tough time for them scoring in the third. That could all change here today with the scoreline being 4-3. Can't wait to see what happens. Well, in the meantime, we'll step aside for a quick moment. Blue Bombers trying to hold on to a 4-3 lead. Just moments away from starting the third and final period, but as we kind of recap what has been going on in this 4-3 affair in favor of the Blue Bombers, already some big stats to note by Angelo Pontello with 1 goal and 2 assists to his name. Michael Rossi with 1 goal himself along with an assist. On the Blue Bombers side, Brian Pompos also with 1 goal and 1 assist has been really stepping up his game. And then of course Tom Buchholz getting in there on a goal along with Steph Pettit with an assist. Meanwhile, for the Golden Knights, Omer Chiquan with a goal and an assist on the day so far, as well as Jerry Coughlin. And then Mitch Starr putting 1 up as well. Steve Byrne with an assist along with Marty Washburn. And of course, the other assist going to Scott Harrison. But right now, it's just a matter of the Golden Knights looking for just more opportunities to come up with the equalizing goal. And if they can continue the same level of aggression and the same level of play like we saw in the back half of the second period, Angelo, I am very sure that they are capable of coming up with the tying goal. Chiquan. Contested by Pontello that time, and the puck comes back in the neutral zone. Reels regrouping for the Golden Knights as they trail 4-3 to the Blue Bombers. Golden Knights looking to avoid a 4-4 start on the season. Blue Bombers trying to get to 6-2 for the first time in franchise history. As Harrison makes a nice move around Pompos, will take this one himself. Gets around Buchholz, but not around Chirico, as this puck goes back in the Golden Knight end for an icing call. And because of this being the third period, Angelo, now is where depth is going to start to play a little bit of a factor here. Again, 8 players for the Blue Bombers, 11 for the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights with an extra player and change, fresher legs in the process. The Blue Bombers just need to be more consistent, and they have to conserve their energy as much as they can. They cannot afford to do anything too crazy, especially only being up by 1. Lafreri will take this one himself off the stick of Washburn. This one comes back over to Paris. Retraces his step. This is Pettit with a pass off to Pompos. Puck comes off to the boards. Washburn regroups. And he fires it into his own bench. You know, I was gonna say not very often do we see that, but when you look at the other leagues offered here by the Ice Sports Forum, we see it everywhere. B League, C League, D League, intermediate, and sometimes even advanced. But the shots fired as the level of competition is higher, but you have to always be careful, and there's reasons why there is glass everywhere now to try to protect even the scorekeepers in their respective parts, but for the players as well. You know, it's just a matter of just being heads up, paying attention at all times. And so the clearance will result in an icing call. Once again, face-off coming up in the Golden Knight zone. And so Michael Rossi taking the face-off against Paris. Blue Bombers trying to extend their very tight lead at the moment, as Pompos will fire the shot into Washburn. Pernice taken away by Lafreri. Blue Bombers regroup. Stick looking for Pettit off his stick. A bounce for the Golden Knights, and here comes Mudra. Johnny Mudra working against Chirico. Shot off of Arsekovic. Rebounded by Phil Chirico. Gets around to Pettit for the pass. Back in their own end. Off the stick of Chirico. This is Pernice with the puck. Mudra. Contested by 2 Blue Bombers and taken away by Pompos. Washburn is back. Pernice. Off the boards, this is to Mudra again. Harris with a shot chance just off to the right corner. Second shot effort there for the Golden Knights, no good. As it's Pettit in the corner trying to clear this one away, and does. And so this will come all the way back for the potential icing call. And so lineups change here for both squads. So a tight one here at that, but as we kind of look a little bit more about how these two teams fare out in the third period specifically, Golden Knights have scored a total of 9 third period goals on the season, have given up 13. Blue Bombers, on the other hand, have scored 11 on the season and have only given up 8. And for the Blue Bombers, as tight of their defense they have had so far this season, they have given up most of their goals in the third period, just slightly. But sometimes it's just a matter of who they're playing and just how the factors of the team come down to play. But again, like you mentioned, Angelo, pretty much it's all even across the board for this Blue Bomber team, because if you do the map here, the stats pretty much speak for themselves. They're pretty much even defensively in all periods. Pass just out of the reach of Rossi. Harrison skating back quickly, pressured by Rossi. Harrison regroups on the puck, finds an open Steve Byrne far side. Byrne back to Chiquan. Feeds it up to Harrison. Harrison looking for a finishing pass to Coughlin. Coughlin knocked off the puck by Pettit. And the puck is stopped by Arsakovic as it somehow skates up front. And Arsakovic is there for the stop. And so both teams now with a chance to breathe, and it'll be Omer Chiquan taking the face-off against Captain Tom Buchholz. Harrison firing the shot, hits the left post. Arsakovic falls on the puck. Referees have not blown the whistle, but now they will officially stop play as referees will pick up the puck with 8:40 to go. And that was a little bit weird there for a second because the puck hits off the left post, it stops. Arsakovic falls down on it, allegedly stopping play. But when you don't hear the ref blow the whistle, depending on some of the personality of some of these guys, they may still try to look for any way to score, and that could cause an argument on either side. Coughlin looking to capitalize through the 5-hole. Arsakovic there for the backstop. And that's another one of those opportunities there, Angelo, where Omer Chiquan, beautiful setup pass to Jerry Coughlin. Coughlin trying to go for the finishing shot, but that time Arsakovic in position to avoid giving up the shot through the 5-hole. Chirico, pass just out of the reach of Pompos as it gets back to Pernice. Harrison regroups, pass off the boards out of the reach of Steve Byrne, and heads back in the Blue Bomber end. Plenty of time remaining in the third period, 7:49 to be exact. Blue Bombers up 4-3 over the Golden Knights. As Chirico steps up for the puck into the Golden Knights zone. Shot fired off to the side of Hannon. Looking for a shot chance. This comes back around. And this is Pompos. Dumping it back in the Golden Knight end. Pernice retrieving the puck. Mitch Starr gets the pass back over to Washburn near side. Washburn passing it across the ice. Starr trying to catch up to this one. He does. Now 2-on-1 for the Golden Knights. Pettit provides some contestedness. And the shot fired just over the net. Parrish trying to capitalize off the equalizing goal. Well, there that time, the Golden Knights now having some opportunities here. The puck is starting to bounce their way. And now it's just a matter of trying to come up with the finishing goal. Lafreri will choose to dump it into the Golden Knight end and force Pernice to retrieve it. Weak pass taken away by Lafreri, looking for the setup to Falbo, taken away by Paris. On that time, very lucky there that time that the connection to Falbo was off, because that could have been another dangerous offensive opportunity for the Blue Bombers. Pontello will take this one himself through a couple of Blue Bombers. Finishing touch to Lafreri, and it knocks through. And for the third time today, Angelo Pontello creating a diversion of the Golden Knight defenders there that time. He makes a move around both Golden Knight defenders and had a chance to get it just backside, was contained there, but Lafreri in the right place at the right time, comes through and finishes for a brilliant finish. Well done there for the Blue Bombers. So now a 5-3 lead for the Blue Bombers with 6:23 remaining in the game.
Blue, number 2.
So now we're getting word that Angelo Pontello did end up scoring the goal after all, although I thought we just saw Lafriri score it on net. Well, at least we have the video to confirm it, and if we do, we'll make sure we make the proper notes there statistically. But nevertheless, just a well-done effort by both Angelo Pontello and Tom Lafriri that time on the offensive drive. This is how they play, and that is part of the reason why the Blue Bombers get things rolling on offense. Golden Knights now find themselves down by 2, have little time to work with as Washburn working quickly in the Blue Bomber zone, looking for the pass to Starr, taken away by Chirico. Chirico looking for the feed-up pass to Rossi, just out of his reach, and this one's coming back for an icing call. Yeah, and right there again, you know, the opportunities are there, but it's tough. It's easier said than done, because you look at the way this over 50 hockey league operates, Angelo, and most of the time, especially when you're deep in your own zone, you're going to have 2-3 players, opponents if you will, that are in the vicinity of that puck. So trying to get it cleared out is a tall order, as much as it seems to be easy on the screens for the viewers. You know, if you're down there on the ice and you're trying to look for a way to clear it out, you've got so many players in the mix, and even if you have a player contested on you, or if they're just in your zone, you know, it's really difficult to, not as difficult, but it is a tall task to try to get a shot off and get the clearance going. That time another shot on net, stopped by Arsakovic. And it'll be Chiquan and Rossi meeting for the face-off. Puck back to Harrison, winds up for the shot on net, deflected by Rossi from foul boat and cleared out by Pompos. Golden Knights regroup, have to work fast as time continues to run down for them. Down by 2 against the Blue Bombers as Chiquan gets the pass up to Harrison. Harrison taken away by Pompos, back to Rossi. Off the stick of Falbo, heading back in the Golden Knight end. Chiquan retrieving the puck. Makes a deep move around Rossi, finding the connection to Coughlin just out of his reach. Coughlin gets a piece of the puck away, but it comes back over to Harrison, looking for a finishing touch from Byrne just out of his reach. And that time Arsakovic looking for the icing call, but another touch in the process forced him to try to pass it away, and Coughlin almost made a play out of it with the added hustle to get to the puck. Pompos dumps it into the Golden Knight end. Lafriri chasing up for the puck will fire the shot on net just off to the side. Harrison regroups for the Golden Knights, biding some time, gaining some open space, looking for Chiquan just out of his reach. Chiquan by center ice, finds Byrne, now back over to Coughlin. Coughlin taken away by Pontello with a big chance here. 2 defenders check in for the Golden Knights. Shot fired, bouncing off a hand, and Pontello rebound effort. Jay Hannon with another stop there. Blue Bombers trying to come up with another offensive chance here. Pontello taken by 2 Golden Knight players. Buckles backhands this one into the post and taken away by Chiquan. Another valiant effort there offensively by the Blue Bombers. Golden Knights in the right position. Well, almost most of them, but nevertheless, shots off the post, and Jay Hannon doing his magic there to avoid this game being a 6-3 contest. Chiquan back to Washburn. Chirico gets this one cleared out. Pernice regroups for the Golden Knights. This is back to Mudra. Pettit skating up to the puck first as he gets this one cleared out, courtesy of a Mudra slip. And sometimes, you know, especially in this over 50 league, you never know what can be anticipated that time, but it looks like the ghost of Bobby Orr happened to be in the right place at the right time for that drive, and now Mudra looking to redeem himself. Mudra defended by Chirico. Puck back to Pernice. Golden Knights working in the Blue Bomber zone. Puck now back in the Blue Bomber end. This is Lafriri with the puck with 2.5 remaining. Mudra and company trying to come up with another offensive stop. Falbo gets it out to Pettit. Backhand pass out to Lafriri. Regroups it over to Chirico in the Golden Knight zone. Puck just off the boards. Pettit back. Mitch Starr looking to make some room. Starr, beautiful pass to Coughlin. Open shot chance. Knocked it to Arsakovic. And it's Mario Arsakovic there for the stop again. The pass was just beautiful that time, just wide open space. Jerry Coughlin all alone far side. Mitch Starr had two defenders that were coming on him. He's able to get the nice pass off, and it was just Jerry Coughlin and Mario Ostakovic. And that time, Ostakovic, just beautiful positioning. What a way to stop the puck in the final minutes. Mitch Starr and Michael Rossi on the face-off as it comes back to Pettit. This is Reels for the Golden Knights. Shot into the Blue Bomber end. Mitch Starr working around Pettit. Steph Pettit with the puck, looking for the clearance, finds Rossi. Michael Rossi with two Golden Knights on him. Finds a way to get some possession on the puck. And now maybe it's just a matter of playing keep away from the Golden Knights. And it looks like that's what the Blue Bombers are trying to do right now. Redirected passes, Pontello will end up clearing it into the Blue Bomber end, and an icing call upcoming. You know, honestly, Angelo, I think the better method of them trying to just play keep away would have done better. It looked like it was working for a couple of seconds, but that time, just a great way to kill some more time off the clock. So as a result, Steve Byrne calling a timeout for the Golden Knights. We'll take one here ourselves up in the booth. 1:28 remaining. Blue Bombers trying to come away with a 6-2 record for the first time in franchise history. More on the other side of this break. Golden Knights trail 5-3. So both teams getting ready to reconvene deep in the Blue Bomber zone. The Golden Knights will start things off coming out of the timeout with 6 men. So you know they're throwing the kitchen sink here, Andy. Well, they had to at this point. You're down 2 goals. You have only 88 seconds of regulation time left. You got to make the best of it however you can. And you have to have your best out there. And right now it seems like they have the first lineup with the addition of Scott Harrison. Harrison working around Lafreri. Lafreri trying to clear this one away. Lots of activity in the far side corner. Pontello trying to clear it opposite direction. Gets around Washburn, who flips over Pompos' stick. And it looks like a penalty upcoming on Brian Pompos. Interference, yep, just what I figured the call was. Not a smart decision there for the Blue Bombers. Well, I mean, it looks like it's not a smart decision, but it's a risk nevertheless, and it's a gamble that the Blue Bombers were willing to take that time. And so now with Pompos heading to the bench for interference, it only makes the job more difficult for the Blue Bombers to try to keep this within a 2-goal game. But you look at the way that things have been figuring out so far. So now officials getting slightly confused. And according to the ruling, some players are saying with the penalty, the faceoff should have been taking place in the Blue Bomber zone as the refs get it off to the Blue Bombers blue line instead. Steve Byrne with the puck. Knocked back by Lafreri in the Golden Knight zone. And this is a bad start there. Rossi winding up for the shot. And this one just stops high of the net. Angelo Pontello with a wraparound shot. Looking to feed it back, but it's Harrison who takes it up. Scott Harrison finding an open Chris Paris. Golden Knights working quickly. Jerry Coughlin off to the races and just can't connect with him. Puck is back to Pontello. Angelo Pontello looking to try to clear this one away. Stopped by Paris. Paris finds an open Harrison. Winding up for the shot. Just bounces off opposite direction. Lafreri clearing it out of the zone. Chiquan chasing after the puck quickly. 10 seconds as Chiquan finds Harrison. Harrison getting it around to Steve Byrne. And Lafreri knocks it away. This one sliding all the way back. Hits off to the right side of the post. No empty net goal there. But luckily, anytime you score an empty netter, that usually comes with a hefty price from Commissioner John Finney. Well, that time, luckily for the Blue Bombers, they didn't have to worry about an empty net goal, but they took care of business here today. And right there in the final minute and change, were able to successfully defend themselves from giving up a goal by the Golden Knights, who had 6 players in the net, even though they only had 4 players defending plus a keeper. And so with that, Blue Bombers will advance to 6-2 for the first time in franchise history, as the Golden Knights drop to 4-4 for the second time in 5 seasons. But nevertheless, a hard-fought game either way down to the finish. Well, we've seen two sides that have normally done things one way according to how their season shows so far, but we have seen a completely different side on both teams. And the key thing, I think, Angelo, that really firepower this way for the Blue Bombers to get this win was them getting the 2 goals in the first period. For a team that struggles to score early on in the game, this was a big victory for them because it was an opportunity for them to do something that they're normally not accustomed to. And compared to the Golden Knights, who have normally seen themselves score successfully in the first period, just limited to 1 goal on the day today. And that time, just not enough effort in the third period, if you will, to valiant a 5-goal stand as the Blue Bombers were able to come away with victory today. So you look at how this game fares out. Again, a big game for a couple of players as well. Angelo Pontello with a big day today with what we consider to be 1 goal and 3 assists after being away for a couple of weeks. And Michael Rossi again finishing his day with 1 goal and 1 assist for the Blue Bombers. Brian Pompos again with a goal and an assist as well. But nevertheless, just job well done by each and every one of the Blue Bombers to win this one.
What's up?
But meanwhile, for the Golden Knights, again, despite the 1-1 for Jerry Coughlin and Omer Chiquan, just another opportunity for them to figure things out. Well, it's now just a matter of time. And now it's just a matter of trying to finish out what they need to do for the next game, and both teams will have to look to regroup on this one. And so right now, both teams have to rejuvenate and get going with things next week. We want to thank everybody for tuning into our games this week. Make sure you always tune into our ISF Over 50 hockey page on Facebook, as well as on the website at www.theisportsforum.com, and you can find all our videos, archived game of the weeks, and highlights on our YouTube channel, the Pontello Broadcasting Network. So for my co-partner Andy Townsend, I'm Angelo Pontello saying so long, good night. We hope everybody has a blessed evening. We wish everybody a blessed week this week as the Blue Bombers come away with a 5-3 win over the Golden Knights.